The world will always ask you who you are. And if you don't know the answer, the world will tell you. Every day, people respond to you, not based on who you really are, but based on how you see yourself. Because how you see you becomes how they see you. The image you hold inside becomes the mirror the world reflects back. Your tone, your posture, your eyes, they silently broadcast your inner story. The world listens to the energy you carry far more than the words you speak. So here's the question. If life reflects the way you see yourself, what story are you showing the world? Have you ever noticed this? Two people walk into the same room. They wear the same clothes, have the same skills, even the same opportunities. But one of them is instantly respected. The other is ignored. Why? It's not luck. It's not charisma. It's self-perception. People don't treat you based on who you are. They treat you based on who you believe yourself to be. The energy you carry speaks before you ever open your mouth. As Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. The way you see yourself determines the script you hand to the world. Change that script, and the world begins to respond differently. Self-image doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's written in us, line by line, from the earliest days of our lives. When you were a child, you absorbed every word, every tone, every glance. If you were treated as capable, loved, and worthy, you learned to walk with confidence. But if you were mocked, neglected, or dismissed, you learned to shrink. Those early voices became the inner dialogue you now call your own. You began expecting rejection, so you attracted it. You expected to be unseen, and so you faded into the background. Jung called this the shadow, the hidden parts of ourselves that we refuse to see. But those parts don't disappear. They project. They leak into our relationships, our careers, our energy. Others feel what you won't face. The world is just reading the emotional signature you broadcast. Imagine a man who secretly believes he's unworthy of love. No matter how kind his partner is, he doubts every gesture, questions every word. Soon that doubt becomes distance, and the relationship collapses. Or picture a woman at a job interview. She's brilliant, skilled, qualified, but she doubts herself. She avoids eye contact. She downplays her achievements. The interviewer senses it, treats her as if she's not ready for leadership. She leaves thinking, I'm not enough. But it wasn't her resume that failed. It was her reflection. Then another candidate walks in, less experience, but full of belief. Their energy says, I belong here. And the world agrees. As James Allen wrote, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As he continues to think, so he remains. The world responds not to your words, but to the vibration of your certainty. Centuries ago, Niccolo Machiavelli wrote, men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, but few can touch. For Machiavelli, self-image was about power, controlling appearances to manipulate outcomes. But there's a higher form of this truth. Self-image doesn't need to be a mask. It can be a mirror. When you align your inner perception with your authentic worth, you don't have to fake confidence. You radiate it. You don't have to demand respect. You embody it. The outer world bends to the shape of your inner state. Change that state, and the world begins to orbit differently around you. Every person carries an invisible frequency, an energy identity. It's the emotional atmosphere you bring into every room. You've felt it before. Someone walks in, and without a word, the space feels lighter or heavier. That's not coincidence. That's resonance. Your energy introduces you long before your voice does, and people subconsciously decide how to treat you based on what your energy tells them. Confidence has a frequency. So does fear. So does peace. You can't hide it, but you can change it. When you start thinking differently, standing differently, and speaking to yourself with strength, your energy signature shifts. And that shift quietly teaches the world how to respond to you. As modern psychology often reminds us, your nervous system teaches others how safe they can feel around you. The calmer and more certain you are within, the more respect and ease you'll receive without. You don't need to force it. You just need to become it. So how do we shift this? How do we rebuild the image inside so the reflection outside changes too? It begins with awareness. Listen to your self-talk. What do you say about yourself when no one else is listening? That's the script others unconsciously read. Next, rewrite it. Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I'm capable." Replace "I'm invisible" with "I'm worth noticing." Yeah, and at first it feels fake. But remember, your mind believes what it hears most often. Repeat truth until it becomes your default setting. Stand differently. Look people in the eye. Speak from a place of inner steadiness. These aren't cliches. They're psychological rewiring. You're polishing the mirror inside until it reflects clarity instead of distortion. The more clearly you see yourself, the more clearly the world sees you. There's a quiet power in people who have rewritten their inner story. They walk into a room, and before they say a word, others feel something. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. They've faced their shadow, owned their worth, and learned to project from truth instead of fear. And that truth changes everything. When you shift the way you see yourself, the outer world has no choice but to adjust. Opportunities appear, respect follows, connections deepen, because the world isn't responding to your surface, it's responding to your signal. As Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And once you do, life mirrors that authenticity back to you, everywhere you go. So ask yourself, how do I see me? What story am I projecting into the world? You can spend a lifetime trying to change how people treat you, or you can spend a season transforming how you see yourself. Because the world reflects the mirror you hold inside. Change the reflection, and the world will have no choice but to follow. If this message spoke to something deep within you, it's because you already know. The mirror has always been in your hands. Every like, every comment, every new voice that joins this space helps this message reach more people who are ready to wake up to themselves. So if this resonated with you, pause for a second and subscribe, not just to the channel, but to your own growth. Because when you keep feeding your mind with this kind of truth, you reshape the reflection inside. And when that happens, the world will never see you the same way again.